Today we're going to do 3 problems on subtracting fractions. Again, you need to write down these questions as I do them. Number 1, 3/5, 3/5, minus 1/4. And again, just like adding fractions, when it comes to subtracting fractions, we must have common denominators. So the 5 and the 4 have to be the same. So you have to think of multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, multiples of 4 that are the same, that ideally is the smallest. Oh, 20 would be the answer for this, would be the smallest one. So we're going to write 20 down here as your denominators. Now again, you can't just write the 3 up here. You need to ask yourself, you need to say 5 multiplied by what? Make 20, of course that's 4, and then you need to multiply this 3 by that same number. So 3 times 4 would be 12. Okay, same thing over here. 4 multiplied by what? Of course, that's 5 would make 20. So 4 times 5 is 20. You need to multiply this 1 by 5. So that would be, of course, 5. Okay, and then the only difference between adding and subtracting, we're just going to minus the number. So 12 minus 5, of course, would be 7. And 20 stays the same. Lastly, you have to think about whether you could simplify that, and we can't. There's no factors of 7 and 20 that are in common. There's your answer, 7/20. Let's try a mixed number, number 2. Now, usually when we do mixed numbers, we write them vertically. Sometimes it's easier, so let's do that. So 8 and 8/9 minus 5 and 1/6. All right, same thing. We need to find common denominators. So 9 and 6, we need to think of multiples of that. 18 would be this answer. It would be the smallest common multiple. And then you have to say 6 times what makes 18? Of course, that's 3. We need to multiply this also by 3. So 1 times 3 would be 3. And then 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. Take 8 times 2, and of course, that's 16. All right, same thing. We do need to subtract these. And so 16 minus 3 would be 15, 18. You also have to remember to minus the whole numbers. 8 minus 5 would just be 3. And then again, you need to see if you can simplify this. There is a common factor. Actually, 3 goes into 15 and 3 goes into 18. We need to simplify that. Keep your 3. 18 divided by 3 would be 5. And 18 divided by 3 would be 6. And I don't think we can go any further than that. So there's your answer. Number 2. 3 and 5, 6 is your answer. All right, try a third one here, number 3. Cool. A little bit. All right, let's try this one. 12 and 4/9. Again, we're going to write this vertically. Minus 1 2/3. We got to find a common denominator. 9 and 3. What do they both go into evenly? Would be 9 would be the smallest. Then we have to say again, 3 times what makes 9? Of course, that's 3. We have to multiply this numerator by 3. Of course, we get 6. And this one's easy, right? Times 1 times 1. I'm not going to write that. So you get 4. All right, now this is a problem. And the problem is when we come to subtracting the numerators, we can't do 4 minus 6 unless we're going to do negatives, which we don't want to do. So this is a borrowing. Okay, if this number is smaller than this one, we need to borrow. Change colors here, make this easier. We're going to borrow from the 12. We're going to borrow 1 whole. So we're going to make that an 11. And when you borrow 1 whole, any whole can be written as a fraction as long as the two numbers are the same. And you're going to purposely use 9, because this is the denominator that we used. And you're going to use 9/9, because 9/9 really just means 1. And then we're going to add these. So we borrowed 1, we rewrote it as 9/9, and we just added these numerators. 4 plus 9, of course, is 13. Keep your 9. But now we can take 13 minus 6. Okay, that's possible. 13 minus 6, of course, would be 7/9. And now we're going to do 11 minus 1, which that would be 10. And then that can't be simplified anymore. So it's 10 7/9,